This is such a funny build.
Hilo is headed back.
Dude, if you hit your shots with this thing, it's mental. Let's go high threat enemy patrol. Let's see what you guys can do. Yep, and that's why it's a main build. That's why it's funny.
Heroes returning to base.
Dude, this is the main build of my dreams. Alright guys, welcome back to another Division 2 build video. It's the first one in probably 2 years that I've made, and to be honest, it's an anti-meta build because everyone's running Striker, especially now in the Dark Zone. However, this build they will not expect because 1, it's focused on headshots, 2, it's focused on Heartbreaker, and 3, it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. So what we're running is the Bullet King. On the Bullet King, we've got damage to armor as one of the main stats. The reason for that is it really just helps with that last minute encounters when either you get the kill or they get the kill. Because as we know, Strikers got massive burst damage. We're running the Kingbreaker as a backup, but it's not really necessary. You can probably run another LMG. I would, preferably. Because it just helps you. You need to constantly hit headshots to make this work. We've got a 4-piece Heartbreaker set with headshot damage on everything. And we're also running Unbreakable on the chest with headshot damage. So we're running Providence Defense for additional headshot damage. We've got Crit Chance on there. We've also got a maxed out headshot and another mod on there as well, and then another headshot mod on the Catharsis mask. The reason this works well is because the Bullet King, obviously you can just pull down the trigger. They need to reload, you don't need to. You can stand in a single spot weaving left and right. The Catharsis will proc, and it would allow you to kind of like dance a bit in the healing cloud, which really helps as well. And you constantly get that damage buff, the more damage that they do to the target. Not to mention you're building up the Heartbreaker stacks, so it really, helps with the sustain, but it also adds to the damage because you've got a lot of armor here. You kind of try and survive. But yeah, the backpack is key because of the stacks from 1 to 2%. It just really helps in general over there. So I'm running for all of the skills. I'm mainly running the drone, the defense drone, because as you get into it, the burst damage is usually at the start, especially if someone in the Dark Zone has like the Striker stacks already set up. Maybe they've already got their Memento stacks. It kind of makes it very difficult at the start because of it takes time to build up the Heartbreaker stats. So to give you a bit of extra time to pop that first, as you would have seen in some of the intro videos, pop the drone first, and then you can also pop the pulse as well, so that it kind of gets you into that immediately. We're not running the link laser pointer specialization, so we're not running the what the hell is this called again? This technician? I think it's technician. I can't remember. It's been a while. We're running Gunner. And the reason we're running Gunner is because damage to armor or armor on kill, which really works well. It just helps you kind of sustain a bit, especially once you've killed someone. You get that a bit of additional sustain in that. Now, in terms of the damage numbers and variations of this, so let's put this on a... I usually do Elite because named enemies is it's unrealistic in the Dark Zone for a player to have that. So we'll build up the stacks. This is before stacks. As you can see, you put about 4 million DPS. It's not a lot, but remember you've got a lot of armor going on there. And it jumps up quite substantially as soon as you got all your Heartbreaker stuff sorted out. Now let's do some damage to ourselves as well, so we can just get the...
Immediate medical.
So we've got about almost 30% extra damage that's going into that as well. Let's just put that away. And as soon as you do this, you're hitting 6 mil. Now remember, that's going to fluctuate between 4 million and 6 million as the thing procs and as the Catharsis Mask procs. But the interesting part is, as soon as this happened, you're dancing, man, and you're just building stacks constantly. Getting both heals and regeneration from there, as well as building it up against your enemy when you shoot them in the head. The whole point of this is headshot build, so it's headshot damage. So you're effectively looking at 180 headshot damage. You don't really care about crit chance, but when you do get like a critical hit damage headshot, it's quite substantial, as you would see here. So 286 goes to 290, goes to 332. So you're looking at 375. That's about 400. And that's without the, that's full Heartbreaker stacks. So let's just do this. Okay, we're almost full on. Now you're looking at like 433, 450, 427. Now, what you would see is people's going to switch the builds, because currently no one's running pulse resist. At least in my experience. And what you can do is control for that. So if you go in and you fight someone and they go back and they switch the build, you should go, in my opinion, go out and switch your Bullet King to Pestilence, which I've got damage to armor as well. And when you hit the Pestilence, we've got almost all stacks. Okay, let's just get all of our stacks up. Now, obviously, the fire rate is not as strong, so it's going to take some time to get used to all of this stuff. Let's just get all of our Heartbreaker stacks up first. So when you kind of have that, you play with this. Now you've got, you know, the proc as well. So you're still looking 4.5, what's that, 4.8 million DPS that you've done there. You're still landing 460, almost 500, you know, for some of these shots, which is really strong as well. 486, roughly. But remember, at the same time, whilst, let's say, you get your damage going, and whilst you're dancing, like this, let's just go like that first. Let's just do more damage to us. So let's create this scenario. So now you're kind of like, you know, starting out a gunfight. You've almost got your Catharsis fully procced, and your ammo is almost done. So just do this. Just gonna shoot it out that side. So you've got 42, 41, right? And all of a sudden, your Catharsis procs, and you're still fighting this guy. Remember, you're still getting, you can still dance in between. What's going to happen to this guy is he's going to have to deal with the Pestilence as well. So whilst you're dancing around in here, he's ticking down damage as well. If you want to run away, maybe pop your drone, etc. It really works out quite well. So guys, there it is. I haven't done a build video in ages. I hope I covered everything, to be honest. This is my shade level. Make sure it's above 1,000 so you can get all the additional benefits that I have. As I said, everything is on headshot damage with armor, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, meta builds is fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with meta builds at all. It's just sometimes you just want to do something different. Every single person you encounter in the Darkzone is currently running like either a regen build, or they're running something like the Striker or Burros. So well, I also run into people playing headshot builds with a big horn, which we'll get to, but this kind of just helps, especially if they're running regen. If you're coming up against a lot of people with regen, I would suggest you play with the pestilence, because it's going to help you deal with those gunfights and they're going to struggle. You're kind of like nullifying most of their armor regen because of the pestilence, if you can pull it off. Hopefully I explained everything, and hope you enjoyed it. It's the first video I've done in a while, so I'm a bit more rusty, but we'll get into it. We've got some other more meta type builds coming out, some system corruption, some Ouroboros with some adrenaline, and I'll keep you guys posted. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, share it with others, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you're new. Cheers.